What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. And yes, we are awesome. We're back.
We're
Justin.
Back together, man.
Yay! It felt like it felt longer than just 2 weeks.
But it's been the longest we haven't talked on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we have our little check-ins. Obviously, we text, but I haven't heard your voice in a minute, so it's special. It's special out here. How was your break?
My break, I designed a website, so that's what I was doing during my break. I literally was like, "Oh, I finally have time to do this website thing now," because my brain, I can't just sit down and not work. Like, I can't just sit down and not do anything. Like, everything is moving towards something. So this was something that I had on our docket of we need to do this before the end of 2021.
Right.
And shout out to Rich, of course, who helped me on it. But we finished the website in a week and a half. It was amazing.
It was crazy. When you showed it to me, it was an idea. Then I started seeing the emails back and forth. And then I was like, next thing I know, you had the whole thing done. And I was like, okay. I didn't even know.
There you go. But rncradiolive.com. It feels weird to say, but you can go to that website to figure out everything RNC related. I feel like it's good that we have that now. It feels good. I don't think you really need a website in kind of 2021, especially people who do a lot of their business via Instagram, people who do a lot of their business on TikTok or Twitter or something like that. You don't need a website, but I think for our operations, for all the content that we put out, for all the amazing personalities that we host.
Yes.
We need a website. So
and now we have one. So shout out to
radiolive.com. Yeah.
Shout out to Meelz and shout out to Rich, man. Rich is just one of the best people I know, one of the most genuine people I know. And he's always had our back. And make sure that you check out the Daily Smart app. This man is doing big things on the Daily Smart, right? He literally just won the Silver Award for Best New Mobile App from Best App Awards. So shout out to him for that.
Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Come on. Listen. I know I've known him for a long time. This is well deserved. Well deserved, I'd say.
So this weekend was crazy. You know why? You know why it was crazy?
Why? Why was it crazy?
Certified Lover Boy came out, bro. That shit is hard.
Oh, okay. All right. You threw me for a loop. Wait a minute. Hold up. My head is spinning.
Certified Lover Boy is out, bro. Come on, man.
I like it, but
you've been strangely quiet about it, so I didn't want to talk to you about it at all. I don't want to argue. And the thing is, I like it, but on purpose. You do this type of shit on purpose too, because you're like, I'm waiting for the hype to die down so I can say I don't like it, and I'm just like, all right.
No, that's what I did with the Kanye thing because it was just too much at once. You know what I'm saying? The Donda shit, the whole live show, everyone tweeting about it, everyone I think the one of the earliest things I heard when starting my music journalism career, how long ago that was that everything sounds good in a listening session. Everything. It's always going to be played loud. You might be inebriated. There might be free food. There might be go-go dancers dancing. There might be a fucking house in the middle of a stage playing loud music as, people dressed in black do dances or walk around or something like that. They might be a lot of things. So everything sounds good with the listening session, but I'm not buying into the hype. I need to know. And I still haven't listened to Donda, but I sure as hell listened to Certified Lover Boy.
You guys have been treating Donda like it's literally a take-home test. It's hilarious to me.
I haven't done it. It's too long. Well, all right.
Did you hear me and Trevor? Shout out to Trevor Trout. He was here last week.
Did I hear it?
Did you hear our conversation on that?
Of course did I hear it. Come on. Shout out to Trevor Trout because yes, the Miz is elite.
All right.
That's what I remember from that. I popped big for that.
Chill out.
All right. So quick thoughts on CLB. What are your quick thoughts?
My quick thoughts. I was wavering on him for a while. Not gonna lie. I've been wavering on him since around about after Scorpion came out. I was like, he needs a break, right? I was like, he needs a very like this. It was too much of him after Scorpion with the beef and all that stuff. He was in the news for anything, and I appreciated the 2 years or so that we had a little bit less of him, right? Less features, less all of that.
3 years, yeah, at this point.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years where there was just less of him. So I appreciated that more, and it helped curb my expectations. Like I wasn't in love with the Dark Lane demo tapes thing, but it wasn't as serious. You loved it. I wasn't in love with it. Like
I love that.
I feel like with Drake, when it's a project he's putting his all behind, and when it's like a bunch of songs that he put in a playlist and put it out, right? And I appreciated the fact that he put that out right at the beginning of quarantine. People got that escape,
Mm-hmm.
And with this, I wasn't in love with the singles. Like Laugh Now, whatever, that was cool. I wasn't in love with it. I didn't listen to it a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with this, I appreciated it being all new. I appreciated no bullshit, right? I appreciated no listening parties, flying to the ceiling, burning yourself. Like I appreciated that he just put out the music. I had a conversation with someone last week, and I was at a wedding. Speaking of which, me and my fiance were the only two people wearing masks at this wedding.
And you were like he was like, no, I'm not taking it off. So
I didn't eat. I didn't eat anything there. I didn't eat a single thing. I didn't eat. I didn't dance for real, other than my fiance. I didn't do anything.
You were like food outside. You're just like, no.
Oh, well, here's the thing. We were in Ventura County, which is close to Santa Barbara, stuff like that. It's close to there.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Masks are basically optional in that motherfucker. The people serving the food didn't have masks on. I said, you know what, babe, I'm not eating anything here. I'm just gonna stick to my phone, and I'll eat after we leave, because like it just wasn't. I couldn't do it. But I had a conversation with somebody there, and he was like, well, do you feel like Kanye's more of an artist than Drake? And I was like, well, who's more of an artist? The man who's making you buy shit.
Why are you asking me this at a wedding? Is what I would say.
I was like, well, what's better, the guy who's doing all of this foolishness before his album comes out and it's not finished, or the guy who just dropped the album one day and said, okay, here, bye? It's like, I was like, well, which one is more of the artist? Like, who's pandering more to that? Like, I feel like there's a sense that he's more artistic because he's doing a lot more. And I was like, that's not really what artistry is. It's like, it's caring about the craft. And I think they both do, but in different ways.
I love that question you gave. I'll say this in terms of my quick thoughts on CLB.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get my quick thoughts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I went through the whole. I went through a whole
spiel. Long story. All right, yeah. Go ahead.
I treat these like it's us talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is our conversation time. So like,
it's been a couple of weeks. Sure, yeah. Why not?
I feel like this is strongest project in a really long time to me. I think it's way better than Scorpion. Off of just a couple of. I've listened to it more than Scorpion. Scorpion was a damn chore to get through for me, and I only stuck to one side after a while. I think it's the best production he's ever had. I think right now with me is placing it where does it place in like some of his best albums, but I think he's saying some shit up there. I do say it's too long though. It is too long.
To me, it's so the reason why I like the Dark Lane demo tapes is because I have a weird affinity for the throwaway song Drake. Like, the care packages. I love all those songs on care packages. I don't love them as a complete body of work, but I think the stuff that he doesn't put on a project is just as I guess just as kind of sometimes even more. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's rich, sometimes it's different, like Free Spirit or like Club Paradise and shit like that. Like sometimes it's just like a vibe. So I really love those type of stuff. So that's why. And Dark Lane demo was very short. CLB, I don't think I want to listen to it as a full project anymore. I don't think I can. I think it's too long. I think it by the end of it, like I'm not even tapped into the songs towards the end anymore because it's just kind of like a journey getting through it. So I don't really want to listen to it as a full project again. So I think I'm just going to I appreciate the songs that are there. A couple of them. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to listen to it as an album anymore. I think I'm just going to listen to it as a collection of records.
And that's weird because I'll get through it to the Ty Dolla $ign song, and I think I'll stop. I think it could have ended there, and it would have been a solid like hour or so. I think and I think that would have been fine. But we live in like long album world now, when even like jobbers like Big 30 make albums that are like hours long. Like, there's no reason for it. A tight 40 is fine. Like, I feel like even like I saw Candyman the other week, and while I was upset that it was only 91 minutes, I love it because it was 91 minutes. Because when it comes out on VOD, I'm gonna watch it a lot.
Right.
I'm gonna watch it way more than I would.
I love listen to 90-minute movie. That's my jam.
Exactly. So, but yeah, those. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the biggest event that happened over the weekend. But let's get into No Holds Barred. Not much like traditional news, I think. Just really more of more or less the chickens coming home to roost as far as the AEW situation.
Is that what we're calling it? Okay.
Yeah, or the dragons come to roost. So we had called the Bryan Danielson thing on Patreon a couple of a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah,
when I heard
a while ago, like around actually when Punk was
same
first
day.
rumored.
It was leaked after the Cena thing. Let's just be clear. But if you don't have our Patreon, we drop knowledge on there. Make sure you sign up for it. Got a lot of stuff coming up. I actually have to drop the spot callers for August. Sorry, guys.
Please do. Yeah, please do.
It's busy. Last week was busy. So which one do you want to start with first? Ruby Soho?
Ooh, let's start with Ruby Soho. Let's do that, because I like Ruby Soho. I like the cut of her jib, but then it's not her fault, but but let's talk about Ruby Soho debuted at All Out during their women's casino battle royal. She was the Joker. She showed up. She laid people out. She won. It was probably the best. If I were her, I mean, this would be one of the best moments of my life. As someone who truly deserves it, from someone who we both recognize, at least in her WWE tenure, of how hard she worked to transform herself and evolve herself as a character. Shit just didn't shake out well. She got released earlier this year. Now she's back, new lease on life, Ruby Soho, or orange hair.
How long you think she's gonna? How long do you think that they're gonna like follow through with this? I think that's the concern with everybody. It was a good moment. I saw the cheers.
I think it is incredibly tough for the trajectory of a star to be shot immediately towards a number one contender thing and maintain that level of relevancy after you just start.
Unless you win.
Not even like maintain it. Yeah. Unless you win the title. Because it's a lot more of now the perception of like, well, damn, Ruby, we're gonna end up like Rio and fucking Shia and all this other shit like that, where it's like, yo, where they went?
Yeah,
are they banned from the show?
I don't watch the show. I don't watch the show because of the StarCast thing. I don't watch.
Of course, but she debuts. Amazing moment for her. She, they have the little media. What was it? Media scrum, media skirl, media Marty skirl.
It's a scrum.
Media scrum. We have this discussion. It's like, listen, AEW, in terms of the women's evolution, AEW is part of developing that women's evolution. And I get what she said that. I get why she said that. This is my first day on the job. I'm sitting next to the boss.
My check ain't cleared yet.
Benefits ain't kicking. None of that stuff. Listen, Pepsi is umpteen times better than Coca-Cola. If I'm sitting next to the head of Pepsi, I'm like, listen, Pepsi just got that zam to it. Like, come on, man. Blue, first of all, come on. And we got a little red in it if you really want some of that too. But she's sitting there, and I'm not going to overly critique her, because the problem is with AEW itself and their lack of representation with women. And we'll talk about it, the other part of representation. But Britt Baker is getting all of her flowers, which is amazing. Ruby Soho, hopefully it maintains. But a part of women's evolution, AEW is not.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
They just aren't. It's going to take a lot more than that to, clean the needle, man, for women's evolution on stuff like that. So, God bless Ruby Soho. That's all I'll say.
Good job. I know it was a big moment for a lot of people that are fans of her. I'm a fan of her as well. Good on her. Hope she does well. Next up, Mr. Adam Cole.
Yeah, Mr. Adam Cole. Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
I like a lot of talk over the last number of weeks. Contract expired.
Yeah.
He signed the extension for the month of August, which we learned is so he could wrap up his feud with Kyle O'Reilly, who is a great friend of his.
Yep.
Does the funny thing with Gargano was it Mattel?
Yeah, the Mattel thing. Yeah.
I love that. And then, his contract expires and we have no idea where he is, but we can all speculate. That's all we can do is speculate. Would he have re-signed? I'll say this. I said this when I was speaking to Jeff. I would have done anything that Adam Cole. I would have it didn't seem like he wanted much. I understand why WWE wouldn't give it to him, because if you give it to him, you got to give it to everybody else as well. But I still think the Twitch thing is a dumb rule. But I think Adam Cole is, at least on the WWE side of things, he is less. When you look on the AEW side, there's a lot more of him.
Yep.
Than there is on the WWE side. He stands out way more on the WWE set of things.
Yeah.
Than he does on the AEW set of things.
I think people like to say that he'll be at the top of wherever he is. And I say, yeah, if there aren't Adam Pages there, if there aren't, I would be real with me here. Adam Page, Adam Cole next to each other. Which one is it?
Listen, Adam for Adam, baby.
Which one do you see? I think with Adam Cole, there's a lot to be said about him. I personally think that other than the streaming thing, which I completely understand, he loves streaming. I think professionally, is in terms of just like the way I look at it, it's like you had your biggest part of your career be in this company, right? I think that if he would have moved up to SmackDown or wherever, he definitely would have carried that on, because he showed in WWE he could do it by himself.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in ROH, when he was doing everything else, he was strong next to the Elite, PWG, everywhere. He was strong next to the Elite for good parts of it. He had his own stuff going with ROH, but then he was also with the Kingdom, or what's it called? Yeah, it was the Kingdom back in ROH, stuff like that. Like, he's been a guy that's he's been on the cusp of it, and NXT realized it. He was front and center on that SmackDown.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a huge fumble that they said they said no to the Twitch thing. But in terms of just like, even just some of the things he said was like Vince was someone who came in and demanded respect, and then Tony Khan was someone who was like nicer. I think
he says that he like commands respect when he walks in the room, and I think it's a lot more of the intimidation factor that you don't get when you look at Tony Khan next to Vince McMahon. Yeah. I think, but go on because I know you have a lot more thoughts on this.
Yeah. I think that it looks kind of weak. I'm not gonna lie to you. Looks kind of weak. I think that in terms of when you debut in this company with your boys, and you go directly back to being like second and third guy command, who's just now a catchphrase. Oh, you're not gonna be above Kenny unless you turn on them, or the Bucks unless you turn on them, or Adam Page, which is his return is gonna be fucking huge. I'll watch that because I fuck with him. Where does he land at? I think we know where Punk's gonna land at. We know where he's gonna land at. Like, I think if the Twitch thing, yeah, stand up for what you believe in, absolutely. But I think that in terms of like where I think he could be a star at, or he would have been a star at, I absolutely think that, and I think WWE dropped the ball here. But I think he would have been a bigger star in WWE than he will be in AEW. He'll get the Bebe pops for sure. But where's the room for him at here?
I think there's also a lot other intangibles into his decision as well. I think you go to NXT. First of all, we know that he's been friends and he's been backstage at AEW, and he's gone to all their picnics and all this stuff like that. That's why it didn't surprise me when he didn't sign his contract, or he didn't re-sign his contract. I was like, there's a good chance he's gone, because he already has this built-in relationship that has been catered to over the last 2 years. Whether it's been through his wife, it's been
girlfriend.
through Oh, sorry, girlfriend, going through various, events, supporting her backstage, still friends, etc., etc. Like there's a big group of camaraderie there. Um, and then I look like, I don't want to say it's like this is the reason, but like you look in terms of WWE and you'll see like Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, and you'll see like um Karrion Kross and Scarlett and stuff like that, and the type of relationship that they have internally within the company, and they're able to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah,
That wasn't gonna.
he missed his friends.
Yeah,
That's what it looked
he
like to
missed
me.
his friends. He missed his bae. He missed everything.
Yeah, I feel like I mean he's 32. You know, there's nothing saying he won't be back. I think he will be.
And you know what? It'll be amazing if he does come back, because there's still unconquered territory for him. That's what I can at least say about him in comparison to like Daniel Bryan.
And that's
He's
what
got.
and that's what I'm saying here. Like to me, it's a bunch of lineups and matches that he's had before there.
Odie, yeah, a lot.
Like there's a bunch of stuff like other than okay, he never got his revenge on Kenny. I think that they could do that. They could say, hey, y'all beat, but again, it's also like you're bringing up stuff that insiders know about and not the people that are coming into your show. So I don't think they'll have him turn on like that. You know what I'm saying? No one really who's watching BTE for storyline stuff, but it's like, okay, he hasn't done the Kenny match yet. Hasn't really done an extended Bucks thing yet. But a lot of people on there, like he's had run-ins with. Meanwhile, if you were to put him with Cesaro's or I mean fucking Roman, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, he did some stuff with Finn and NXT, like, but it's like there's a lot of ground for him to cover, especially with him being a guy that even of his size and stature can talk on the mic, can go in the ring. He
earned his respect and also in a sense commanded respect too, because it's not only him. It's like you look at a lot of his mentors in NXT, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, who gave him that thumbs up.
They gave him a lot. They gave him a lot. That's why it even looks dumber for them to even have let him go. I'm like, he's still going to be. I don't think there's going to be anyone else is going to be his NXT reign in terms of time with the title. There just isn't going to be. You gave him prime time on your TV. You gave him prime time on main roster TV at one point. You gave him a lot, and you let him go. I think it's just stupid that they can't figure that. I don't even know what they're doing on Twitch because
that's the thing.
I have no clue what they're even doing on this thing, and I know they want to protect their IP. They could have done something. I don't know.
I agree. Let's get into the final debut, final surprise of the evening.
Yeah.
Mr. Daniel Bryan. Well, sorry, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson debuts after Adam Cole debuts.
Was so stupid, right?
I think that was kind of dumb. I mean, it was like a double whammy, but I don't think you could have. I think they wanted to strike while the iron was hot on Adam Cole. I always expected Bryan Danielson. This is gonna be tough for a while. I expected Bryan Danielson at All Out always, but then once Adam Cole's contract expired, I knew they would have to finagle him too, because he kind of got to strike while it's hot. And they love to cater to the dirt sheets and cater towards that crowd and stuff like that. Like they don't, they're popping, a moment. They're having a moment right now. And hey, Bryan Danielson is part of All Elite. And you know what? I expected it. I can't say that I didn't, like, for all the reasons that we talked about on the Patreon thing a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But we always knew that Bryan Danielson, he wanted to explore different things, especially once he got his career back. And if WWE hadn't allowed him to wrestle, he would have been wrestling elsewhere for the last maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
He probably would have been in that first wave. Well, I don't want to say first. Yeah, he might have been in that first wave of the All Elite thing, to be honest with you. There's a good chance he would have been to New Japan as well, but I think he would have saw the thing and say oh, I want to be with my family. I want to have my family. Let me stay in the States, et cetera, et cetera. All Elite is right here.
But it's good that he waited. But I still felt like it was like, it was that serotonin boost of seeing them both out at the same time, because all I was thinking was like, okay, so you've firmly established that Bryan's going to be hanging with the geeks, and then Adam Cole is going to be right back where he. Adam Cole is going to be right back where he was when he left. So cool. To me, it's just bewildering on both ends that this was the impasse that broke this relationship. I just think it's just so stupid on both ends. It's just like, because I mean, he's even said like the offer was generous, but that was a major part of that. And even Brian said that the offer was generous and they were going to let him work anywhere he wanted to, but he wanted to go to AEW, and that's fine. I think it's going to be tough for Brian to get to Japan right now, considering everything going on with them. But we'll see. Are there any matchups you're excited for Brian?
Bryan Danielson versus, let's see. Can't do Miro. Seen that already. Bryan Danielson,
Christian. I don't know.
We've seen that already. Let's see. I don't know. You know what? I think he's really excited to get in the ring with Orange Cassidy for whatever reason.
Good luck with that. That seems like
he likes just different kind of style of things. He's very quirky. This is why I didn't expect him to say anything bad about WWE, because if he had said something, I would have been like, "Yo, you are wildin', my God." Like,
yeah, no, you can't. I'm glad that he said what he said. I'm glad that he said that. I love him there.
But he doesn't play up to these things like a Punk will do. That's why I think like everyone kind of associates Daniel Bryan and Punk, and they will continue to do this again because they're, first of all, in WWE, those are the first two like true major indie stars that kind of came over to this side and had real genuine success. But people always associate them in career as if they're friends. I don't even think they're that good of friends. Like, no. I think because they're two different people. CM Punk is kind of a prick. And right. Daniel Bryan is like, I'm assuming he can be a prick, but I think he's a lot more easier to talk to, and he's a lot more honest with the things that he says and where he's come from. He's the only person in that media scroll who didn't feel a way about saying Vince McMahon in WWE. Everyone's like, oh, the other company, and back when I was before, and he's like, no, I worked for WWE, and Vince McMahon almost allowed me to do these things, but then I was like, no, but I still have love for Vince McMahon and everyone that kind of worked there. And then they talk about the yes chants and who we're still not sure in terms of like who's liable for the yes chants. So he's not going to do it in AEW, so he says, but I'm sure they're going to try to find a way for him to do it in AEW. Because it's a big part of his career.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do Bryan without WWE. I'm sorry, you just can't. Some of the biggest moments in wrestling came from when he was there. You can't erase that, and They shouldn't try to. They should definitely embrace the fact that yes, the yes chance will be there. Yes, he will be. It's all there.
And that's why, I mean, we talked about it on the Patreon, but that's why I don't get the idea of like, the whole. They weren't WWE guys. It's like, bro, yes, they fucking were for mad long. The biggest moments of Daniel Bryan's career happened in WWE. Biggest moments of CM Punk's career happened in the WWE. The context is there. Like, you can't just dismiss it because it caters to your point. But nonetheless, I mean, these three major signings wound up another kind of conversation that we're having on the timeline amongst Black wrestling fans, and that's lack of representation. Wow, this is a heavy AEW so. War Report, if you want to go over SmackDown and Raw, by all means, have at it. But no, like, representation on that brand. And I know you kind of have words of what we're going to see from it over the next couple of years, but
this is
shout out to Mirjani, who wrote this great article. It's like, yes, AEW has momentum, but feel free to take other people on the ride as well.
Yeah, that's tough. You know why that's tough? They're locked in with these people they signed just this year. They're locked in with Cole. They're locked in with the Elite. They're locked in with Cody. They're locked in with MJF. They're locked in with Bryan Danielson. They're locked in with CM Punk. They're locked in with Darby Allin. They're locked in with Sting. They're locked in with Malachi Black. What room? Where's the room at? The thing about diversity, and I absolutely agree with this, is that this isn't a snap your fingers and it happens type thing. And I know that we want something meaningful. We don't want just people showing up on the show, right?
No, because that's exactly what we're debating. People, that's exactly AEW's kind of stance on. And Brandy Rose, even a couple of weeks ago, one of the weeks I had on, made a tweet and then she deleted it because she's a fucking troll. But she said like, "Yo, like, what do you guys want?" And then it's like, "Oh, we want more black people in the main event." "Oh, we just had Jade versus Kiera Hogan in the main event. Ha ha ha." And it's like, you know what the fuck we talking about.
Yeah. We don't want people just showing up. We want people there.
Part of this.
We want them in meaningful. But my thing is this. Remember in 2016 when WWE took a hard stance in saying women's evolution, right?
Yes.
And then from then on, it's been what, 5 years since they've been doing that, and now you get women's matches on every show, women's matches on every pay-per-view, and women's main events, all that stuff. It took time, right?
Yeah.
Black talent. You got Kofi, and then now, it took a little bit of time, and now look at where we got on NXT and on main roster, right?
Right.
AEW can't do that. You know why? Because they locked in on the stuff that people said that they liked from this company. They locked in on indie people. They locked in on grabbing all the people that they felt were being misused at WWE. They locked in on all of those people. They have them all now. They're signed to 2 to 3 to 5 year long deals, correct?
Yeah.
There is no one left that they could pick up that could get that type of reaction, because they needed the reactions right now. They needed the momentum right now. They are not in the business of building up any talent the way that they have built up a Swerve on NXT, or they're trying to attempt to build up an Omos on Raw, or they're, you know what I'm saying, like they don't have the time for that. Right. They just don't. And as much as people wanted this, you're stuck with this right now. You're stuck with Adam Cole and the Bucks and Kenny. You're stuck with Jericho. You're stuck with MJF. It's a very white show. And the people that are trying to make people feel bad about saying this are fucked up, because it's absolutely true. It is a white ass show. And that is another reason why.
Wild thing, baby. Wild thing.
Oh, I forgot about Mox. Look how many people a black person will have to lap until they reach the top there. Look at how relatively small the distance is on Raw or SmackDown, because there are more people of color at the top there. Street Profits have less of a jump. Damian Priest, I'm not even going to go black here. Damian Priest has less of a jump to go, because he's been firmly built and entrenched there. There just isn't that there, because even every time I turn around and say, well, he could put him there, I'll say, oh damn, Lance Archer's in that position. Orange Cassidy, right? It's
God damn.
It's
Lance white Archer bars, QT Marshall, and I
mean, you look at even Ogogo. When Cody comes back, you think there's going to be room for another nigga there? The shows are only but so long. As much as you shit on Raw for being 3 hours, AEW don't got 3 hours to do that.
Hey man, Anthony Ogogo, I looked at it. Beyond, I guess, Scorpio Sky's that brass ring match, which was fucking stupid, because now he's just teaming in some, let me shut the fuck up. But Anthony Ogogo, literally only singles program for a black superstar
ever
in AEW, like one-on-one match type shit. I looked. There's mad Shawn Spears matches at the beginning of AEW shit, but there's not. So, representation matters. It's very, very important. People are going to try to dispute it. People are going to try to make you feel bad for like, oh, you're discrediting the people who are there. I'm like, yo, the people who are there, y'all need to fight, and because y'all are the voice that's going there.
I'm going to say this right now. It's okay to be excited for all those people signing there. That's incredibly exciting that you now have basically the Avengers in game of wrestling promotions right now. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Tell me in 5 years who will be bigger than Bianca Belair. Tell me in 5-6 years who will be bigger than Big E. Because he's a one. Bianca Belair is a one. You look on SmackDown Meelz and you tell me that seeing Bianca and Becky in the same ring together didn't give you kind of like chills. Like that's a crazy program. I love seeing my people on the show. You feel me? I love seeing that shit. I love it. I don't see that enough on that other show, so I don't watch it.
And no one brings up the conversation because the people that they're interviewing is white. The head of the owner is, I mean, he's not really white, but at the same time, it's like these conversations aren't having. They just aren't at least being had publicly. And if they are having these conversations, nothing's really being done about it because they're looking at who pops a rating. We talked about this years ago of why the women aren't featured on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you look at the thing, it's like, yo.
Because you know why? Because diverse people aren't being put into, they're not being put into positions to do so. And they are not training their audience to say, be prepared for people of color to be on this show. They're not being trained to do so. So
niggas said when I made the tweet about Swole on Dark, it's like, this is it's actually a fire concept, by the way. First fall pinfall, second fall submission, third one knockout. I'm like, that's a war right there. Why isn't this on the main show? And people had the nerve to say to me, it's like, you don't even go watch Dark. Like, why don't you support them on Dark? For fucking what? It's fucking Dark. There's real estate on television that people are taking up, that the Big Show is taking up. And I'm calling him the Big Show because Jim Ross calls him the Big Show on AEW. So I'm going to call him what his mama call him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do we have to settle for these things? Because Dark ain't as big as the Big Show.
I saw someone say it's because the match sucked. I saw someone say it's because it is. But I'm like, you know what? We had to sit through a lot of shitty matches.
You got to sit through a lot of terrible shit.
But as long as women feel like they're being seen, as long as people of color feel like they're being seen, and we feel like you're making an effort, you do that. You do it. You think they're going to listen this Wednesday? You're going to get Adam Cole speaks, Daniel Bryan speaks, CM Punk speaks, The Sting speaks. That's what you're going to get because they're going to pop ratings. Now, I don't even know if Adam will be the one to pop the rating more than a Bryan Danielson will, to be honest with you. He was really on NXT the whole time. I just think it's so weird that he just decided, I'm going to just punt everything and go back to being in a group.
He wanted to be with his friends. He wanted to hug and kiss his wife after the match. He was looking at Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae hugging and kissing after their matches. And it was like, I really got to meet this chick in the parking lot.
But
and that's no slight. That's no slight. I'm just saying, like, I know that sounded shady, but I'm just but I'm just saying he wants the feeling of family back of where he is. I don't truly blame Adam Cole. They let the shit expire. I wouldn't blame him anything.
It ain't weak though. It's a little weak. It's okay to say it. It's a little weak. Will this be a needle mover when he was on the show that was barely beating AEW?
Nah, I mean, no.
Okay. Like I said, the diversity championing, yes, hold them accountable, but I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna keep giving you fluff and they're gonna keep delivering what they're delivering. They don't have the bandwidth to push anyone else with what they're paying these other guys. I'm sorry. They just don't. It's not realistic. It took if they would have started out in 2019 doing this, hell yeah. They didn't. Now they don't have time because they signed up every single person who is white that has left that company. Meanwhile, Bobby Lashley is your WWE champion. Big E has the Money in the Bank. Roman is your other champion. I mean, we don't even got to go WWE. Look at Impact. If Impact is getting it right, that's a problem.
Nigga, they getting it right, bro.
And I know
really watching like that, but who they got?
Exactly. People are gonna say, Moose, and rightfully so, but controversy didn't stop them from having Darby still on their roster. I'm just saying.
Listen,
Jay Lethal either. I'm just saying. Could have got any of these motherfuckers. You could have got any of them, and they would automatically be big time deals. But even when the Forbidden Door was open, they didn't even allow them on the fucking show. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Raw.
Let's talk about WWE.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about WWE finally after the break. When we come back on the A Show.
Like I forgot what you did to me last week. Now I'm out here trying to finish what you started. So instead of sinking me from behind, Why don't you man up and face me like a man one-on-one? So I can put you in that hurlock and yank your little shoulders out of socket and throw you down on my feet like the cowards you are.
You're challenging me to a match. Is that right, Bobby?
Absolutely. One-on-one, me and you, Randy.
You know, that sounds interesting, Lashley. That sounds interesting. I was just thinking a couple weeks ago when I saw you dominating in this ring that it's been 10, maybe even 15 years since you and I have faced each other in this ring. And based on the fact that you were all talking about double champion this, double champion that last week on Monday Night Raw, kind of got me thinking, you know, I'll tell you what, I'll accept your challenge on one condition. One condition, Bobby. When we fight, you put that WWE Championship on the line.
Oh, my.
Whoa.
What a hot crowd on Raw.
Yo, shout out to that black guy. Shout out to black guys in the front who are going crazy the entire night.
Yeah. What a hot crowd. And sensical programming on both shows this week. So applaud them for that.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, wait, there's a thread through this show? Wait a minute.
Bro, I think that it's amazing. I know. The fruit is low here.
This bar is the bar is in trash. Nigga.
The bar is in hell. But I mean, even this bar is a little bit high for what they're attempting to do, right? Because tag teams are at the forefront of both shows, which is dope. They do this once a year, I feel. And this time they're doing it on the tag teams matter on this show once a year. But they didn't wait and have RKBro on the sidelines for very long, right? Like they have RKBro front and center. As soon as they saw at SummerSlam, these motherfuckers are hot. They put them in the hot program with the champion. Bobby could have been with anyone on the way to Goldberg again, because I think that's happening. But they chose them, and I think it's a great program that makes sense for both of these guys in terms of just being a better tag team. I like it. But even on SmackDown, let's talk about SmackDown first. We got to get right to what I think is going to be a really cool thing with Roman here, where he has multiple people coming for the title for the first time since he's been a champion, or he became champion a year ago.
The main event of SmackDown exceeded my expectations for the amount of time that they were given. I will say that, because it started a little bit late, and then it started with chicanery. So I really thought it was going to be over with. I thought it was going to be donezo. But then Finn Balor showed up with all the heart, with all the intensity, with everything rather. And then they do the little, did you stick around to the end?
Yeah.
With the little heartbeat?
Yeah. I said, wow, who's writing this show?
I was like, yo, my nigga, wait. Finn never had this type of foresight. And it would just be like, I guess he's gonna be the Fiend now.
No, but I mean, even in the main event there, but okay, Finn notwithstanding, you got Brock next week.
Oh, Brock this week. I'm here.
I'm sorry,
Madison Square Garden, baby.
You need a live report. You got Brock this week. You got Big E on the sidelines. I love the foreshadowing here, even though I don't think it's going to be him. You have Finn. Now you have the Demon. I know people were really upset about the Demon thing, and I said the crowds have not been around for over a year, and you haven't done the Demon for over 2. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, let him rock the Demon anymore. I mean, he wanted to stay. He said out loud, he definitely wanted to stay away from the Demon. I don't know if the Demon would have worked in NXT, and I'm glad that he stayed away from NXT, because it kind of really revitalized his character and kind of just be known as a separate entity. But when you're in WWE on that big stage and they got toys to sell and they got history to make and things like that, like, you better call Spray Paint Guy, who's been on hold for the last 2 years.
And then the Demon's never been defeated, so it's a cool story.
Boom. There you go.
There. So you got all of those, and you have Roman with the looming. Do you think Brock's going to be for the title? I really don't feel like Brock's going to be for the title. I feel like he'll cost him the title or something like that.
Saudi. Maybe
Saudi.
Saudi.
Is he going to be there? I when I predicted it, I didn't think that Roman would be in Saudi Arabia. Because the thing is with Brock is that like you risk not having your champion on the show every week again, and I don't know if they want to do that. There was a period where the Universal title was not on TV for months when Brock had it.
Yo, what if this is ridiculously not going to happen, but potentially this happens? Because Saudi is like where, late October?
Let me look. Go ahead though. Yeah. I'll look while you look.
Finn Balor wins the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns gets drafted to Raw. Listen.
October 21st.
The draft is going to be before that. What if Roman Reigns gets drafted to Monday Night Raw?
Well, on the other end there, what if Drew gets drafted to SmackDown?
Hey, I'm sure he will.
Because I mean, we'll talk about it on Raw, but this guy has no direction right now. He is treading water like shit into the beginning of October.
Yeah, good for him though. He putting over talent. Good for him. He didn't take an L a lot, and now he's taking a couple L's. Good for him. And he's still having bangers while he's doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, multiple contenders, great story, like a scintillating. Why did I say it like that? Scintillating main event scene. Where are we? What year is this?
Yeah, I know. And both shows are.
This is the fall, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right before football, when they usually go on fucking.
Now they on Fox. They're like, "Yo, football leading. Let me get some hot." Pop that overnight number.
It was cool. I thought it was a really cool. Again, Roman got the best creative, and I think just by being next to him, you get really good creative too. So like Finn being next. You know who else has good creative on SmackDown? Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, and Baron Corbin.
Oh, that was kind of good. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not a fan of Logan Paul, but the man, he knows. He knows. Celebrities are very aware of the characters that they are. Celebrities who are aware of the characters they are, because sometimes they're celebrities who don't know what the fuck is going on, and people got to show them. But I implore everyone, if you have not seen the cast of Jackass on Monday Night Raw and Umaga taught them that wrestling was real. I'll tell you that.
No, but I think again the E realized that Logan, biggest heel. Yeah. How do you get Baron over again as a heel and Kevin Owens as a face over again? You put them against each other, and I think if that's going to be a marquee thing where he shows up to Extreme Rules, or that he has a match on Extreme Rules, that's where. And I think that's your Extreme Rules match. You do KO versus Logan Paul in Extreme Rules match.
And they got a little crossover appeal from it too, because of the little fight that was on Sunday or whatever the fuck it is. I actually didn't watch
last Sunday. Yeah, with Tyrone Woodley and Jake Paul. Yeah.
So, listen, they're doing the right things. Let's talk about Bianca and Becky.
So good.
We haven't talked about this together on the show.
No, we haven't.
What do we do? Where do we go?
We're week 2 here, and I think that it's still really intriguing to me. I think Becky, as you guessed with Jeff, as I guessed with Trevor a week ago, Becky's playing this very well. She's
taking her time with it.
Mm-hmm. The little previews. Oh, y'all didn't give me a "You deserve it" chant. I said, "Oh, okay." Then it was the shit talk, which is kind of what she always does, but it's also like, oh, okay. But more than that, Bianca on the
promos. That's what I was going to talk about.
Bianca on the promos.
She came back with it. First of all, she came back looking cocoa buttered to the gods. She looked amazing on Friday. Just had to put that in there. But she also came back with the promo. She's like, listen, you're not going to get the best of me on the stick. I ain't one of your friends who you used to run with back in the day. I talk the talk and walk the walk.
I ain't Ronda.
I ain't Ronda who writes her own promos, evidently. I mean, obviously. I walk the walk and talk the talk. So you're going to have to do a little bit more.
I thought it was good. we got
potential.
the match.
I didn't. Go ahead.
We got the match at Extreme Rules. We have a contract signing on Friday at MSG. Meelz, this is going to be great. I think this is where it's going to happen.
You know how contract signing go, my brother.
I think this is where it's going to happen. If not there, then definitely at Extreme Rules proper. But like Becky got to do something bigger to me. I think it's got to escalate a little bit more. The little earworms that she's doing is cool, but we got to have the real talk, because that match is happening. And Bianca, to me, is the fact that she's not being turned on and that she's still getting reactions. They got to play this right, or else they'll go ahead.
No, they've been having the dark matches after SmackDown. With
they have.
Yeah, they getting Becky ready. I think it was Bianca, Shotzi, and Nox, versus Becky, and I'm assuming Zelina and
Carmella is Zelina.
Assuming them niggas, but yeah, they've been getting her ready, and we got a dark match on MSG too. John Cena's gonna be there, back from the dead.
Yeah, don't show me on TV though. They should do Finn versus John. You know what I'm saying? Like that just.
Yeah, listen. But all right, for MSG this week, you got Edge versus Seth Rollins too.
Yes, sir.
About the sequel to this. It's happening soon.
I think this will be the last time we see Edge on SmackDown.
Damn, neck about to turn into Nature Valley bars, man. Damn, don't do that in front of. No, I've seen Edge compete before. All right, I'm pretty okay with this one. Yeah, I've seen Edge wrestle before.
I think it's gonna be dope. I just feel like they should have did this at Extreme Rules, but I get it.
MSG, it's MSG. It's the air. Last time I was at MSG, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin and AJ Styles, and AJ Styles did the great Stone Cold Steve Austin impression.
Yeah,
and we had Becky and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha.
We are in really rarefied air here in that, this is going to be the 9/11 tribute show as well.
Oh, this is very, very true. Oh, first, also, what you have to talk about? Hashtag Sasha Banks watches back.
Yeah.
She was backstage at SmackDown last week.
Mm-hmm. If they make this a triple threat,
she was backstage at SmackDown last week. She was on what was the show? I guess it's the spin-off to Hot Ones. What is it? Chip.
That was probably filmed before SummerSlam because Bianca and Montez did a Glamour Mag shoot thing for SummerSlam 2, which was really good. Yeah. If you get a chance to see it.
Listen, how about this? We get to 100 subscribers. We do the chip thing.
Oh my God.
We get to 100 patrons. We'll do the chip thing. We'll do it. We'll record it. We'll put it up.
You know what? Let's do it. If we get 100 subscribers on Patreon, we will do the hot chip challenge.
And I don't like spicy shit at all.
We will do. Well, what's funny? We said we would do a juice cleanse also.
We'll do it afterwards because we need it. We get to 100.
That's perfect. I think, if we get 100 subscribers on our Patreon, we will do the hot chip challenge. Oh my God.
I'm going to die on that episode. It'll be the final episode of the A Show.
I think I'll be good. Yo.
It's a mind over matter thing. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go to Monday Night Raw. And then wrap things up.
We missed anything else? I don't know if we missed anything else.
Dominic Mysterio's trash.
Tony Storms showed up, so she'll probably be
showed up.
I think you team up Tony, Nakamura, and Boogs, and you got something going there. I think that's cool.
Okay.
I think that'd be dope.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Wow.
Okay, Raw. Tag team heavy show. Mason T-Bar, show me something.
Listen, I liked it. I like storytelling. That's what I'm saying. Like storytelling. Listen, we started off with this tag team. You could tell that Vince McMahon wasn't at the show, but the way in the first 5 seconds of Monday Night Raw.
No. Let's be clear. Let's be clear here. He ripped up the show for last week and set us in motion for this week.
Well, first of all, I'm just saying it because they said Bruce was in charge, and we got 1 million pre-tapes.
Oh yeah, true.
We got 1 million. They wouldn't let Karrion Kross out in front of a live audience. That's why we got 1 million. But they kick off Monday Night Raw, tag team. You know, we talked about a little bit of the main event with Bobby. Bobby wants now a shot at the tag team championships. Now we getting that intertwined. Oh, there's a tag team championship feud within the WWE championship feud. I love it. It's something different. I respect it. We get the tag team turmoil match, which I expected to be the first hour and a half of Raw. It's cut off in the middle. It's telling a little story. First of all, we have the little bit too eager Mansoor to be the hero gets clapped.
Yeah.
By T-Bar and Mace, completely clapped, and then they proceed to clap the other tag team too, Kofi and Xavier Woods. They said,
hey,
"Okay, well, Adam."
I love the reaction to seeing Adrian almost come out. That was a really good storytelling point because they that's their demons. They can't beat them for some reason.
Oh yeah. I love that second half when, like you said, AJ and Omos come out and they're exhausted. They're looking at it like this is the toughest battle that they've ever had to. This is like the 8th gym leader who just showed. This is like when you're right before the Elite Four and then your rival stops you right as you're about to exit Victory Road. And he's like, nigga, I just finished. Nigga, there was a level 60 Onyx back there. Like, we just finished this shit. How you gonna try to battle me now? I ain't got no more full restores. That's how it kind of felt. I'm a Pokemon fan. Listen to Mount Silver podcast on Lookout Network. But
yeah,
that's how it felt. They came out. They had their best encounter yet. I say it's, but they couldn't get the job done. And we got the encounter between AJ Styles and Omos versus MVP and Bobby. MVP really didn't do shit, but you know why.
But the crowd was hot for him though. They were so hot for him. They were cheering for Bobby because he told them to.
Once he hit that Caete de la Boca, he hit that at the start of Raw. Niggas was like, "Oh, we here, Miami. Come on." It was good. It was just good. It was just good shit. Talk about the Omos moment. How'd you feel about that?
What a cool. It goes back to what I said earlier in the show. This is why these types of things matter, because when you build up a talent like Omos, like they have, people were rightfully so a little perturbed by it, but I think that he's been completely fine since he debuted with AJ. You build them up. You have someone that looks like you. He's garnered support from people that look like us. And then you have him face the guy that's been beating up people that look like us all year. But no, I'm just playing. But like, this is a moment that was cool as fuck, and it mattered for so many on so many layers, right? Because we've seen him from Raw Underground all the way to now to him facing a WWE champion, and we wanted to see more because they took the time to do that. And I think that when you look at why people get upset, why other shows don't have more white talent or more black talent in these moments, you look at this and say, this is why we love this, because it's so much different than seeing two white dudes looking at each other. We see that all the time.
Yeah.
We saw two in the main event of Raw. We saw two people of color, not even to just go beyond that, someone that they built correctly, that is a damn freak of nature, really give Bobby Lashley his comeuppance, and in turn, I think make him look more like a babyface in turn by doing that. And it mattered because this shit matters.
And you gave almost that moment. Almost like, would he have been fine without that moment? Yes, but you need these type of moments and see how they react in front of a live crowd to really look at them and be like, yo, we could do something with this nigga. I mean, hopefully they don't say that verbatim, but like,
I don't know. You're wilding, but
we could do something with this man. This Goliath. Let's have Bobby versus Omos next week. I mean, it's not going to happen next week because they got the tag team title match, but Let's have Bobby versus Omos. Let's put Omos in a singles thing. Let's see how he works on himself. Like, these are the moments, these are the opportunities you give to people that they weren't. And I'll be critical of WWE. They weren't given before because they had the same fucking match week to week to week to week to week to week to week.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see Bobby Lashley beat Apollo Crews that many damn times. I need it. But they're trying something new here. Raw was way better. A story that drew you in from the beginning and said, "Hey, come back for the finish. We ain't finished with this one yet."
That was crazy, right? It made sense, and I feel like it even made T-Bar and Mace look way cooler than they've looked. In a lot, it made them look way cooler.
I ain't even was mad that Viking Raiders lost. You know what I'm saying? Because they did the damn thing too.
They look crazy. I need more New Day Viking Raiders. They gave me more setup for matches that I think that we're gonna get soon.
Absolutely.
I thought Randy and Riddle were great. They're the most over. Them and Drew.
Parts of Raw, yeah.
Yeah, well, they were the most over parts of Raw. Drew McIntyre had a match against Sheamus. It was good as usual. I mean, I was a little less excited because we've seen it before, but Drew kind of seems like he's on his way out to me of Raw.
It was a number one contender match for the United States Championship, which we don't get a lot. Usually it's beat the champion and you get a championship match.
Which they did on the show with Natty and Tamina, which I'm so tired of seeing them on my screen.
Yeah, and plus still Knox and Shotzi have the title. Like, can we? If y'all set up a triple threat tag team match for Extreme Rules, then I'm all for it. But if you're not, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But we got a great match out of that. It's Old Faithful between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. They hit all the beats. They did all the things. Sheamus gets the win after losing a lot of times before. And he's facing Damian Priest at Extreme Rules for United States Championship. So we're going to get that rematch in a very, very special way.
Needs a step.
I agree. They've been working hard. They need a step. People were very, very mad this Monday.
About what?
For one Jeffrey Nero Hardy.
Oh.
Who came out during the 24/7 championship segment and ran out after. They were mad that he was simply in the segment.
Okay.
I had the same expression. I'm like, I mean, would I prefer Jeff Hardy being here? No. But do I care that he's here? Not really.
Oh, y'all was
just going to remember it next week.
Y'all was just mad that he beat Karrion Kross. Y'all acted like this week y'all cared about Karrion Kross on a segment that I thought he came off really well on the Splash TV, whatever thing it's called, like
Splash TV, Moist TV.
I thought he came off really well on that segment and the match afterwards. I was like, they should do that more often.
With pre-tape hit.
Yeah, it hit different because, yeah, I don't know.
Let's talk about Smackfest, the sequel. Charlotte versus Nia, Monday Night Raw. After what happened last week, I was ready.
They went at it. They played it up a little bit too much. Though.
They played it.
These niggas.
They were like, "Yo, just." Yeah, I was like, the referee about to get his head mashed in by these two strong women.
I even like Jimmy Smith. I like when he digs into his MMA bag and talks about, like, you know, fights that he's called in MMA. He's like, I've seen fights before in MMA. This was a fight. I think he needs to do that more. I thought he did really well throughout this. I think with Jimmy Smith, he's always just kind of there for me. But when like he does stuff like that, it makes him a lot more different than Corey Graves and Byron on the call. But it was a good match.
Listen,
I thought it was good.
I was so disappointed when they started wrestling again. I was like, "Oh fuck!" Okay.
But there was a point where it was a point where he got chippy, but it was also like
because they knew that's what we came here for. They were like, "Yo," and first of all, Nia won that too. By the way.
Oh yeah, she did.
Nia won that again just to make it clear. But they got scrapping, and then they decided, "All right, let's have a wrestling match." And Charlotte picks up the win. I don't get what they're doing with it. This Shayna thing better be an actual split. I don't get why Shayna started the match and called her own tag team partner lame as fuck.
Yeah.
And then like...
But then after that, we get what was probably one of the hottest segments on Raw with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. I didn't know people wanted this so bad, but I'm with it if people are with it. If people want to see this, then I want to see it too, because they really had a good reaction to it. people really like Alexa in this role as much as people like complain about it. Like the fans really like Alexa in this role.
I agree. And Alexa, listen, you would have thought it was fucking WrestleMania. The way the niggas was pointing and cheering and shit. What do you want?
Hit the yes chant for this match.
You want this? And she points to the Raw Women's Championship, and everyone's like, yeah! Black guy in front going fucking crazy. That was fucking awesome, man.
Great. I'm with it. I
don't know how this match is going to be. Don't get me wrong.
Charlotte needs to go down the crazy path. That's the one thing she hasn't done yet, Meelz, is go down this path of having a really crazy storyline. I think she would prefer this than my dad got Lacey Evans pregnant. Give her a run. I mean, if that's all she wants is a run, give her a run. You know what I'm saying? Give her the run. I know that Rhea's gonna turn on Nikki soon anyway, and they'll have a feud, which I think would be cool too. I think that would be helpful for both of them. Give her a run. Give her a damn run.
I agree.
Like I think it was cool. What else happened on Raw? Such a show filled with Matt. That was okay. Well, I thought it was a good show. I'm excited for SmackDown this week. Meelz, you will be in MSG. Make sure you take lots of pictures and video.
I will be in MSG. Mark will be at MSG. Might be the first meeting of the Meelz and the Mark connection. Might be.
Meeting of the minds.
Carlos will be with me in the tuck. Shout out to Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Why are we? Our text threads during Monday Night Raw is just fucking crazy. You found out what dripstick actually means. I'm not going to say it on this podcast, but I don't know if you want to Google what dripstick actually is. It is not.
I gotta guess.
I think if WWE knew what dripstick was, they wouldn't just say it all willy-nilly on television. But
I think John Morrison knows what it is, and he probably pops himself every time he gets to say it.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, yeah, I think we can wrap it up here.
Okay, so right now, let me just give people an update. We got 69 patrons. Nice. If we get to 100 patrons, of course, you can start by being a patron at $5. That's it, just $5.
If you want to just support, if you don't really actually care about the content and just want to support us, you can just do the $3 shit.
Yeah. We will do the hot chip challenge. That will be something that we do. We have the A-list coming. More information on that coming very, very soon. But other than that, thank you guys for listening to the A Show. Of course, our website is up. It's beautiful, and she's here at rncradio.com.
rncradiolive.com. Don't
rncradiolive.com. See, look at me.
We couldn't get the fucking Republicans, man.
I'm better than them. rncradiolive.com for all the latest and greatest from all of our shows and channels. Now it's great to say that we can just point you guys somewhere, so we don't got to just say it and lose our breath saying it. rncradiolive.com is where you can find all of our shows and all of our content and our playlists, and as well as our Patreon and stuff like that. Of course, you have the War Report coming this week with a pretty huge episode, I'm pretty sure, with Cyrus and Quan, as well as Rewriter's Room, which just had a
happy birthday, Quan. I know I said it on the Patreon, but in case you don't listen to the Patreon for whatever reason, in case you don't listen to the Patreon, happy birthday to Quan, whose birthday will be at the end of this week.
Happy birthday, Quan. Absolutely. Make sure you guys watch that Karrion Kross promo with Kev on Raw Talk. It was fucking mental. I thought he came off really well this week. But yeah, so until next time, for Meelz, I am Justin. Thank you for listening to the A Show. We'll see you back here on a really big MSG episode next week.